When you hear the word scalping, most people think of marked up prices for concert tickets, limited edition sneakers, and PlayStations. Car dealership markups and scalping have become a thing with popular new cars. Take the Ford F-150 Lightning, for example. Actually, dealer markups aren't a new concept in the car world, especially when demand is high or supply is low. But when markups are egregiously high, that's another story. Today I'm talking about one company that's been taking the biggest hit to its reputation, and that's Ford. A few months ago at a Florida dealership, there was a price tag on a new F-150 Lightning, and it was $140,600. But the manufacturer suggested retail price is less than $69,554. This means the markup was another $69,000. Making the truck twice its original price. Later, a spokesman for Ford said that the dealer had accidentally inputted the price of the truck twice. The dealer then fixed the problem within 24 hours. Ford's spokesperson even argued the truck wasn't even for sale, but was only a demo car. Criticism of this dealership got so bad that they not only removed the Ford F-150 Lightning from the website, but they also shut down its Facebook page altogether. This particular markup may have been just a typographic error, but that doesn't mean there aren't any other crazy Ford markups in other dealerships. In fact, now some consumers aren't sure what to expect when they walk into a Ford dealership. There are so many crazy Ford markup stories, it's hard to pick just one. Here are a few of the craziest real-life ones you may or may not have heard of. First one involves another Florida dealership. It was selling the Lightning Platinum at $143,874. They listed the MSRP as $141,374 and listed $2,500 in upgrades. But here's the thing. The actual MSRP of the truck is $93,874. That means they marked it up 50 grand. Bad enough to mark up a car that much, but then to lie about the MSRP to deceive consumers is a whole other story. Talk about highway robbery. Funny enough, in the truck's description, they said there was no dealer fee and even offered to give you a free Carfax history report on a brand new truck. Another incident in yet another Ford dealership in Florida. Something's going on with Florida, I don't know. This one was offering an F-150 Lightning Pro Trim at $140,600. And remember, its MSRP is $69,554. That's a $71,000 markup. But at least they didn't lie about it. The next story happened in Virginia, and it's one of my favorites. So a Ford dealership was offering buyers a special perk. Basically, they said if you want to be among the first 25 on the wait list for a brand new F-150 Lightning, you have to pay a $30,000 markup. All other orders would only have a $10,000 minimum market adjustment. On top of that, the dealership required an advance deposit of $5,000, which would go towards the purchase of the vehicle. And if that wasn't bad enough, the dealership stated that the deposit would be forfeited if the consumer later decided not to buy the truck. But that dealership wasn't an isolated case. Other buyers reported, too, that their local dealerships were adding a $30,000 markup to the Lightning due to overwhelming demand. And if they don't want to pay the markup, the dealership just moved down the wait list to someone else who was willing to pay. Get a load what happened last year. When Ford launched the new 2021 Ford Bronco, they allowed consumers to pre-order. Believe it or not, so 190,000 people across the U.S. plopped down an advance deposit. Anyway, when many came on sale, they were marked up big time. You see, there were two factors in play, supply and demands. Economics 101 all over again. And we are a capitalist society after all. So, first, there was so much hoopla around the Bronco. But then, combine that with the fact that dealers were having a hard time getting inventory. Many Broncos across the U.S. have the same two words on the price tag, either dealer markup or the more inconspicuous price adjustment or market adjustment. But we're not talking about a fair price adjustment. 2021 Bronco Wildtrak has an MSRP of $53,755, but a dealership in New York listed the Wildtrak for $83,755. That's a jump of 30 grand. Another dealership in Oklahoma listed a 2021 Ford Bronco Wildtrak four-door, which should have been priced at $58,150, but instead was marked up to $78,150. A dealership in Missouri was offering a two-door Wildtrak with a high equipment package at $76,945. That's a $25,000 markup. And these are only 3 examples. Ford heard about the price gouging and the scalping, and they didn't take it lightly. They wanted dealers not to raise prices beyond MSRP for the Lightning. Not only is egregious markups morally wrong, but it also doesn't make the company look good as a brand. But Ford, or any car maker for that matter, can't really do anything against unfair and anti-consumer markups. And that's why it's the Wild West for consumers when you buy a new car at a dealership. Here's the thing about dealer markups. Car makers set an MSRP, or the manufacturer's suggested retail price, for each model, but that price price is only a suggestion, not a requirement. Usually, in a normal market, most dealers try to stick close to the MSRP because they want to stay competitive. But in recent times, with the semiconductor shortage and so forth, car supplies have been lower than normal, and the output of new models of popular cars can bring a surge in demand. So dealerships have been rolling in the cash in this prime market because they've been able to add huge markups, thousands of dollars on top of the MSRP, in fact. The thing is, in the U.S., car makers are required by law to sell through third-party dealerships that are their own independent businesses. Car makers can't sell directly to consumers on their own, like how Apple has its own Apple stores to sell their products directly. That's why car makers are limited in how much they can do when it comes to dealer markups. Ford did what it can within its own realm. For one, it warned dealers against adding extra fees or deposits to reservation holders. Basically, they told dealers not to threaten customers by withholding their opportunity to convert reservations to orders. In fact, Ford announced that any dealer caught charging extra fees or deposits would lose their Ford F-150 Lightning allocation for the rest of the year. I'd say that's a good thing. Let's talk about car flipping and scalping. Ford didn't want that to happen with the Lightning, and their concerns are legitimate. Take a look at a famous case a few years back. That's when Ford sued a big celebrity for violating no resale agreement on his Ford GT. The celebrity was pro wrestler and actor John Cena. So back in 2017, John Cena was selected from a list of applicants and granted the right to purchase a limited production GT. That was because first, he was a celebrity, and second, he had a YouTube series called John Cena Auto Geek, on which he could promote the vehicle. And Cena did end up featuring the car in a series. But after he bought the 2017 Ford GT supercar for $450,000 plus, he quickly resold it, and that violated an anti-flipping clause in the Ford GT's purchase contract. That landed him in serious legal hot water. This contract had specifically said that any buyer could not resell the new Ford GT for 2 full years, but John Cena had resold it in less than 1 month, and so Ford sued him. In a lawsuit, Ford stated they directly reached out to John Cena after they heard he sold his Ford GT, and they said that John Cena then apologized and admitted he sold the Ford GT to liquidate for cash to take care of expenses. Ford then tried to facilitate a buyback of the vehicle at the price John Cena purchased it for and to discuss the profit he received from the unauthorized sale. Despite Ford's efforts, John Cena still didn't make things right. Just how much did John Cena make in profit? Well, the exact number wasn't revealed, but the lawsuit did specify that the profit exceeded $75,000. So flipping and scalping isn't anything new, but Ford didn't want it to happen with the F-150 Lightning electric pickup. That's why Ford wanted dealers to add a no-sale provision to buyer contracts, where buyers agree not to sell, offer to sell, or transfer ownership for 1 full year. This would prevent new owners from flipping the truck for a quick buck. Now, you'd think that's a good thing, but some people complain that Ford doesn't have a right to tell anyone what they do with their property, and they have a point. But here's another thing. So the no-sale clause in the contract isn't mandatory. Ford only suggested it to dealerships. But at the end of the day, the agreement is between the dealer and the buyer. Evidently, some states won't even allow it. Ford said they will support dealers who chose to add this clause. Well, it wasn't clear exactly what Ford meant by support, but you can probably take a wild guess. Ford really wanted to make things right with the F-150 Lightning. That's because the Ford's F-Series has been the best-selling vehicle in the U.S. for years. On top of that, the Lightning is a huge milestone since it's their first electric truck, so you can see why Ford is super protective of this vehicle. There's a huge demand for the F-150 Lightning, so if you're wondering just how high it is exactly, well, let's say Ford had to shut down their own reservation page after 200,000 people signed up to buy the truck. Only 7% of the reservation holders are new to Ford as first-time truck buyers. Anyway, all these pre-orders should be fulfilled by 2024. For the 2022 model year, the F-150 Lightning is set to face limited production. Just 15,000 units are going to roll off the assembly line this year. That's due in part to a semiconductor chip shortage. This shortage has been affecting the auto industry as a whole. Believe it or not, at one point, Ford even resorted to assembling thousands of F-150 pickups without crucial microchips. Then they stored them in parking lots until the chips could be sourced and installed. Now Ford has promised to double their F-150 Lightning production capacity by 2024. That'll mean 150,000 F-150 Lightning should be built by then. With the current production stats, you'd have 15,000 units in the first year, a proposed 55,000 by 2023, and another 80,000 units by 2024. Actually, it's a good strategy on Ford's part to gradually ramp up production, in my opinion. Truth is, many people still aren't sure it's a good idea to buy an electric truck in the first place. There's still so many questions about them. If you think about it, slowly building up production gives Ford time to continue building up the hype while consumers continue to get their questions answered. This also gives Ford more time to research, develop, or outsource cheaper and more efficient parts and batteries. Remember, too, EV infrastructure needs to grow also. So if you're an early tech adopter, you get the boasting rights and coolness factor, but you'll also be a guinea pig. Your choice, really. Personally, I'm more practical and conservative and would rather wait until the technology and infrastructure irons itself out. But now you tell me, are you or someone else you know on the wait list for a Lightning? What kind of crazy markups on car prices have you seen at dealerships where you live? Please share your experience by commenting below. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for your support.